Well, someone, friend or foe, gunned him down last night, along with another man and one of my officers. Now, do I have your cooperation in finding this mysterious gunman or men? I have to get a warrant.
What do you want me to do?
Well, we need to find out what he was mixed up with in first. How about we start with you telling me where he worked?
Down at the docks, loading and unloading cargo.
Is there someone I could talk to down there? A supervisor or something?
Mr. Savinsky is... No. Mr. Savinsky was his boss.
My first dead end.
What is that, Lieutenant?
That was the other guy that got gunned down last night. Apparently he worked for Customs. He survived, by the way. They got him in the ICU, so I haven't been able to question him yet. Hey, what are you two still doing here? Do I have to call a squad car to get you out of here?
Well, before you shoo us off, I think you better look at this.
Now you're withholding evidence.
No, I just gave it to you. Now, will you excuse us?
Just don't turn up around this case again. You hearing me, Barry? What is this company?
Russian, as in Slavinsky.
Housewives, how many times have you spent hours and hours spending that elbow grease trying to get that white shirt clean? It never comes clean, no matter how hard you try. But there's a new product on the market that can help you. I want to tell you about Tide. Tide is the new detergent that is strong with effervescent bubbles. Powering and cleaning and wringing and agitating your clothes until they're pure and white. Remember, you don't want them just clean, you want them Tide clean.
Did you find out anything?
You bet I did. It went so sweet. They had him in the ICU all right. Well, I knew I couldn't under armed guard no less. I knew I couldn't come back with nothing, so I started chit-chatting with the guards. Turns out one of them knew your name, knew you from a past case.
Ah, good to know the name dropping helps.
Well, they knew my name too, so don't let your head get too big. Anyway, I heard that they had figured out that Savinsky was part of the mob or with a spy ring or something big, and he was to be slated to be questioned under sodium pentothal. The rest was even easier. I got in RN scrubs and I just waited around until I saw the needle go in. The guards had been changed by then, so they were none the wiser.
Yeah. Well, your story looks so good. Well, what happened then?
Well, you'll never believe what name came up.
Oh, Eddie.
How did you know?
Well, he's the contact between the mob and the docks. See, last month we merely cut the tail off this beast and not the head. So, I'm surprised he has not come after me. I'm sure he figured out I put it all together.
So when were you trying? Is that why you've been sticking so close to me? You were expecting a hit?
That and your award-winning personality.
So when were you planning on telling me it was going to rain bullets?
Well, I didn't want to upset you, so anyway, go on with the story.
Anyway, as I said, I went in and I watched the heart monitor while they questioned him. It turns out the mob had kind of branched out. They were providing the muscle for a very important bait and switch. I don't think they knew what was in that crate, and I know for a fact Savinsky didn't. He took a pretty good beating with them trying to find out. Anyway, when asked about the shooting, he said, "Oh, my payment was a bullet, and how he should have known." And then he died, I'm guessing from the beating he took. Anyway, we aren't going to hear any more out of him.
So what did you hear about the devil?
Oh, somebody already picked him up and out down at the station.
Oh, sounds like he'll need an attorney then.
Oh, I thought you said this guy was trying to hit you.
I said maybe trying to ice me. And what better way to keep from being shot at than to represent the man?
I can't wait to see this.
Besides, all this is not working out. I don't think the mob knows that they were being used in this game. It's not their style with all the illegal activity. They've never done espionage before.
Like I said, I'll be waiting to see how this turns out. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to introduce to you the newest star of the stage. Will you look at your books? On your table, everybody has a book. No, the novel. Inside your novel, there's a piece of paper. All I see the piece of paper. Will the gentleman at that table please stand up and come forward?
No, they found it when you grabbed the book.
Ma'am? Come on, give him a hand. I give you Tolan Mortelli. Perry? Ma'am, you'll sit right here. We start right here at scene 7. You read the text.
You see, Totelli, it is not really my concern right now where, how you fit in with the mob. This is better than I believe that it would be. See, the mob is being a pawn in a larger game, a game that threatened the security of these United States.
I am not saying I am guilty. I am not saying I am not. But what's in this for me if I don't keep?
Well, for one thing, I'll represent you at trial. And there will be a trial, believe me. No matter how hard you work to cover up your tracks, there will come live proof of your dealing with Mr. Savinsky. Once proof of your work with the mob and dodging customs come to bear, it will be very short lead for them to put together a case, no matter how circumstantial, to prosecute you for the murders of Malone, Savinsky, and the 2 others that were shot down. So, we're looking at 3 charges, 1 for treason, 1 for murder, and 1 for smuggling. If you cooperate, I believe that we can find the murderer and plead not guilty for treason, because we can establish your ignorance of the contents of that crate. In exchange for your cooperation, a plea bargain could be arranged for your smuggling charge.
So what do you think I'm looking at?
5 to 10 if you cooperate.
And if I don't?
You'll be shot as a spy.
I see.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that part of the evening. For those of you who have bought raffle tickets, get your receipt out. One says keep coupon, one says put it in the hat. For those of you who have not bought raffle tickets, my associates will be around shortly to sell them to you. Our top prize is an entire season at the Community Concert Series held at the State Theater. The second is this beautiful print of George Washington from the 1880s that hung in an actual courtroom, hence Perry Mason. So, without further ado, please, Maestro. And if my associates will please circulate and sell raffle tickets. I'm coming, sir.
Get your tickets here. I know.
Well, without the flash, everything's upside down.
All rise. The Honorable Donna Walterman presiding.
Remember, you've got a hammer.
Okay, you may be seated. Okay, let's see here. We have the case of Tolan Tortelli, represented by Mr. Mason. For the prosecution, Mr. Berger. Opening statements. Mr. Berger.
Your Honor, the defendant stands before you guilty of 3 separate charges. It is evident by the cargo manifest that Mr. Tolan has doctored the documents and seen fit to it that items were smuggled into this country. He has confessed to as much. The second charge, and more shocking, he is charged with the conspiracy to murder 3 people under his employ and police officers. The third and most shocking of all is the espionage against the United States. It is my intent to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that he is guilty of all 3 charges and to see this man shot as the traitor he is. So help me God.
Mr. Mason.
Your Honor, I consider my client is guilty of smuggling things into this country. There's no doubt about that. Mr. Tortelli claims that he's never tried to smuggle things out. When you read the manifest, you won't even find the crate in question listed on it. In fact, the only way we know that there was a crate is from a note found in a book that was in the possession of one of the deceased men. The note prompted the authorities to radio the captain, and the captain in turn found the crates. And even now is in rendezvous with the Navy frigate to turn over the crate. About the crate, Your Honor, I can only say that what's in it is classified material stolen from a government installation some months ago. So the charge of espionage, we put on a plea of not guilty. And as far as the murders, Your Honor, my client was seen at the time of the murders by several witnesses, and he has an alibi for that. So on the charge of that, we plead not guilty. Now, if my client is cleared of these charges, then we ask for leniency on because of his cooperation in our investigation. Thank you, Your Honor.